Hey Empath, it's Serene the Healer back with another week of the Flavor of Fuckery reading. This week the reading is a lot different because it doesn't feel like it's just spanning over the time period of a week. Even though I went through and I looked at the line stories, I looked at the I Ching and the Rave I Ching, and we also have an eclipse on Saturday the 30th. It's a partial solar eclipse, I believe. Partial solar eclipse on in Taurus. Yeah, because it's a new moon. So yeah, I guess maybe that's why this message feels bigger than just a regular, Flavor of Fuckery Weekly. But I'm seeing a portal. It's portal energy. When I first turned over the energy cards, actually when these two came out, they came out just like that on my desk together. So this is the card from a few weeks ago, the Cosmic Womb. And I'd usually just turn these over, look at them all upright and never think anything of it. But the way that it fell out upside down behind this one, it's like these are giving us a time period of when this started and giving us, it's going forward. This is where it's spanning through. But again, it might not be this first eclipse. It might be one of the other ones. I don't really know. I did notice that this top card that I feel like is for this week, that's the overall energy card for this week. It's the Eye of the Needle. And it really looks like zooming in on small details and then finding out that there is so much more involved, so much to get immersed in. You thought the Eye of the Needle was the smallest thing, but then once you get focused in on it, there's an entire universe in there, right? So that, I feel like, is talking about how you're about to learn something that is part of something way bigger to come that you may or may not be able to see yet. But it's like the start of something big that's going to be long lasting. And if you go into it with intent, with the understanding of what you want, what the goal is, what is the reason for this journey? Are we here to experience A, B, C, or D? Picking which one and knowing that whatever that is, when you line up with it, it's there for you. There's more of that waiting for you. All right, so that's what I'm seeing with that. And then also the chakra card, I usually save it till the end, but I turned it over. When it came out, it turned over and it shocked me because these two images from completely different decks, these two images are depicting both a portal. And this one is a crown chakra card from the chakra deck. Not only does this look like something out of a game that I used to play, but it's a crown chakra card, and it's aligning with the fact that we are moving into high frequency mental energy. On Wednesday, we shift into the gate 24. The sun is exalted in that gate. Well, that line 24:1, the sun is exalted in that gate, and it's mental energy. And I feel like this card is depicting that it's an opportunity to line up with, I keep wanting to say portal, that's the word that I'm getting for this, lining up with the specific energy of a portal so that you can get an understanding of what it is in order to track it and cross through it when you're ready. That's what I see. Yes, I realize how that sounds. Yes, I realize I'm wearing a green wig. Oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah, that's what I'm seeing for this energy. And so the beginning of the week, it looks like wrapping up Aries energy and then turning around and looking at it through the new lens that you crafted and put together from 2020 to 2021, right? So all of the lessons that we learned, all of the things that we picked up, the tips and the tools and what have you, everything was theoretical in the realm of the mind and maybe even online, virtual, you know, interacting with other people. But then when the world opened up and this past season passed by with you stepping into the world as your new self who's learned or you know, worked for whatever you worked for or accomplished during, you know, those 2 years, you get, you know, influenced by the energy, right? It's brand new. You get conditioned by the people that are around you. You fall into patterns. In some places, you hold firm to your boundaries and, you know, different things like that in other places. And now this is an opportunity to turn around and look at that and say, all right, how did I do? You know, did I hold up to who I thought I was going to be? Did the situation seem bigger than what I was expecting to handle? You know, what were the powerful elements that played into this whole month? And then be able to go from there and kind of take that energy into the mental plane and the conceptual plane and look at it in a way that you're able to walk through that portal mentally, okay? So what I mean by that is the mental energy that you are devoting to making intentions, deciding beforehand what you want to do, where you want to be, what you want your day, week, month, year to look like. And spending time in that expectation of that energy. You're calling that in. And it's like tuning yourself to a specific spot in space and time and saying, all right, I want to be right here. And then whatever it was that you used to pick that spot that's tracking where that position is, you're staying along with it, making those small adjustments to stay in that place long enough to cross through the portal. So say for instance that means that you're going through something that's really hard, really heavy, and you've decided that I can at least get through this and get through this in a way that I am giving back to somebody, or I'm going to experience this through a facade that makes me appear strong to somebody else that needs me to be strong for them. I'm doing this for this particular reason, right? This person is not going to be able to get through this as easily if I'm, you know, all expressing how I'm feeling or not, as well as they would if I'm strong, you know, because we both know that the other is the only person that is struggling with this hard thing right now. Or, you know, maybe it's a whole bunch of people that are struggling with that specific thing, and you feel like you're the last man standing, right? You got to hold on. If you're doing that, it's deciding that you're doing that, maybe deciding why you're doing that and making it something that you value and align with and believe, something that feels empowering, something that feels right for you, right? Or you're doing that saying, this is the last time I'm going to do this because it doesn't align with me. It's not who I am. It's not how I want to handle this, right? And so those decisions, those thoughts, that energy spent working that out in your mind, working that out for yourself is currency that you are paying forward to your future self as you come through that energy onto something else. So when I say energy this time, I always mean something different when I say energy. That situation, right? So maybe last week we were talking about going back to an ex, right? So maybe this particular ex is an ex that you have gone back to and gone back to and gone back to and gone back to, right? It's either going back to this ex knowing this is part of my pattern right now. I don't know how I'm going to fix it. I don't even know if I want to fix it, but this, what I am doing, this is a pattern, you know, and getting at a point to with that where you can own it and feel better about it. Right? So own it and let go of that resistance to, I am in a pattern and it's bad. I am in a pattern and it's bad blocks you into the box and you're just stuck there. There's no space to progress or go anywhere from that position. And that's, I'm not saying never feel that way, but I'm saying when you're ready to move to something different, when you're ready to experience something different, when you're feeling pulled apart by something, it's because it's time to move out of it, right? The only way you can move out of it is if you open up that box and you don't allow yourself to be blocked in on all sides, right? So I'm here, I'm in this pattern and I felt stuck, you know, or it feels, you know, hard or difficult, but leaving this path open for me to go forward, I say it's not as hard as it was yesterday, right? That if that is true in that moment, if that's true for you that day, then saying something like that to yourself, even though it's not saying, and I'm amazing at this now and I'm never going to do this again, being able to say, okay, this is hard. I don't like this. You know, I don't want to be in this, but I believe that somehow there's a way that I'm going to get out of this at some point in the future, right? Very vague, very bland, very out there, but there's something about giving yourself that open gate in your box, in your pen that says, all right, now we can move, we can do something else, you know? So acknowledging the pattern, now you can start receiving ideas, openings, information about people who can help you, you know, to break the pattern, or people who have broken the pattern, people who understand how to break the pattern that you can run into and come across, and they can show you things, whether on purpose or not, about how to break out of that pattern, you know. There will also be things available to you to make you stick deeper into that pattern. So if it's a pattern that you're like, hey, this is a good habit. Like I've been doing this for a while now. I feel pretty strong with it. If I can just keep on this same path, I'm going to be healthier in 2 years, or I'm going to be stronger, you know, or I'm going to be more financially stable in 2 years if I just keep with these habits, right? Same kind of energy. You look at it a different way and it's like, all right, what can I see around me that's going to help to keep me in this spot that I've picked? You know, what can I do that will make it easier to stay in this spot? What can I utilize around me now that wasn't there before that will help me to stay in this little niche that I've carved out, right? So looking at that from the arc of the cards that I got and from the line story, it's like a mental lock being unlocked. No one's latched it yet. No one's opened the door yet, but you heard that distinct, satisfactory click of the lock unlocking and the little ping of the spring popping up, and you're like, that's unlocked. New achievement unlocked, right? You know that you've lined everything up. And I feel like that's kind of as far as this energy goes for, you know, the week or so, or into, you know, next week-ish. But this overall portal, this one says Divine Matrix. I didn't read that one. And this one says Eye of the Needle. And they're like the same card. But with more detail in different areas. I was totally about to say something. There's also another message in here for me about my courses, and it helped me to make the decision to go ahead and start the Sacral Key course. I have a feeling that that is not going to be the official name of that course when it comes out, but right now it's just the Sacral Key. We did the Root Key, now we're doing the Sacral Key, and I'm excited. I am excited to show you guys what I experienced and what I found for connecting with that energy consistently. There is something here about being deliberate. It's the intentionality, the being deliberate with where you decide to invest your energy, be it emotional energy, mental energy, creative energy, destructive energy. Like, where are you willing to spend it? What's worth it to you? Don't spend it on something that's not worth it to you, because then you're going to get an energetic injury. And don't not spend it on something that you do think is worth it and then regret what you did spend it on, you know? Like, definitely alignment, and it's fine detail level of alignment. I also got a message recently about, it's part of this. It's part of that portal energy. That a lot of us are going to have an epiphany or a realization that stuns us into silence. And that silence is going to affect those who have been relying on those messages coming through in those ways. So that silence is going to be because of something stunning that happens. And then it is also going to be something stunning that happens that then causes a reaction in the next group of people, and it's going to just make a wave like that. So I don't know if that means I'm not going to do a video one of these weeks, or I don't know what it's going to look like, but the way I saw it, it's going to be a ripple that goes through and affects the collective in waves. So the person standing right next to you might be on a different part of the wave than you are, because it's individual energy. Oh, and the line story backs that up. That's what it was. So when I looked at the line story of the gate 24 in the I Ching, the Chinese I Ching. Oh no, it was the 27. My bad. We go from the 27 to the 24 this week. So I read all of both of them to remember what last week ended with and then go forward. And while I was reading it, I got pulled into a vision over here about an energy wave. The words that they used in the I Ching that they were talking about was like thunder under the ground, thunder under the earth, right? Like an earthquake. And I have been given the phrase like a couple months ago, an energetic earthquake for something that happened in one of my sessions, but energetic earthquake doesn't quite fit with this. So it's slightly different. And I don't really have specific words that are coming to mind right now to describe the difference, but it's close. The energetic earthquake is probably the closest that I can, think of right now, even though it's different. The energetic earthquake, the people that it hits directly are going to be stunned to silence. So there's going to be, and as I said, this is conceptualizing energy. So it's either something that happens to break your reality and make you see something that you didn't think was possible, or it's going to be something that challenges an idea that you've had or a belief that you've had that makes you realize it's movable or it's flexible. It's not as black and white as you initially painted in your mind. But like I said, everybody that gets hit with it, they're getting hit with it on a different plane, in a different way. And it's happening in waves. So there's not any one specific day that I can say, oh, on Wednesday everything changes, or oh, on Saturday with the eclipse everything, it's different going forward. It's going to be different for all of us because it's individual energy, and it is awareness energy. It's in the individual circuit, but it's awareness energy. There was something about the 55 energy being like a glass half empty, glass half full, which is kind of like what I was seeing, what I was saying a minute ago, making that switch between, okay, I'm here and I'm stuck, or I'm here and I'm going to figure out how to get out, either the 50-50 glass half full, half empty energy, or what was the other kind? Hang on. Let me consult my book. Let me consult my book. What did I say? Did I see that? The 27, it said the 55. No. 27 is not the right one. It's the 24. That's the original one. 25. Okay. So it's like either you're going to see it in a way where you're having to make a deliberate switch from seeing the glass as half empty to seeing it as half full. And there could be, a catalyst. That wave, when it hits, could be the thing that makes you see it that way, and it just flips and you're like, oh man, no, it's half full, or it'll be risk taker energy, which I feel like they're saying an opportunity is coming at you, right? And you have to decide, am I going to jump over, or am I going to duck under? Am I going to jump over? Am I going to duck under? Which one am I going to do? And you got to decide right then. So like I said, different ways that the energy will hit, and for different people. So I feel like that last one is more physical, and then we have the glass full, half empty. That's emotional, and then the mental. All right, I think that's it. Wait. There's one more thing. What was the other thing? Oh, I thought it was interesting that the lines for the day of the eclipse is called the Hermit. I think maybe that means that a lot of us are going to be really tired, either the last, day or two leading up to the eclipse, or right after eclipse, new moon energy. So it might be a little tricky to, it might make it tricky to be aware of your intentions for the new moon. I hadn't thought about that. I was just looking at the fact that that lines up with that energy. Okay. Well, you guys let me know what you think. Let me know if the advice was helpful last week or not. And I'll see you next time. Bye now.